Hey, what's happening, y'all? This is Rod Hub. This is day 17 of 60. If this is your first time watching, I'm doing 60 straight days of videos. I'm taking you guys on my journey, my rebranding process. I'm doing some things as it pertains to nutrition and working out. Also, just rebranded myself. I work with companies, small companies, medium-sized companies, and even especially music artists, and helping them get their things together, their business in order. So, I decided to take 60 days and do a rebranding process for myself. So, thank you guys for coming on the journey. And as a result, I give you guys some sales and marketing and branding tips. And, in hopes if you guys would ever need anything that I do, you will feel comfortable in reaching out to me. So far, so good. I just want to thank everybody who's been reaching out, who's been watching, inboxing me, spreading the word. I think yesterday's video was probably the best video that we've done since we started. So we talked about what independent artists should not be paying for. Didn't get a lot of backlash off of it, at least not anybody. No one told me anything, so I guess everybody agrees. If you don't agree, feel free to contact me and let's talk about it. But just a quick review, I want to kind of touch on that again today. Do a review, but I'm going to also talk about why Christian rappers or hip-hop artists are not really working, the way they hope. And so, I don't know how you're going to feel after I talk about this, but, let's talk about it. But first, let's recap from yesterday. 3 things independent artists should not be paying for. So if you're an independent artist, if you trying to get your game up, trying to, get this thing started, or if you're in the mid-level of your career, or if you're trying to get things to pop off, or even if you were dropped from a label and you find yourself in an independent situation, these are some things that you should not be doing right now. You should not be paying for a publicist. And when I say pay for a publicist, I mean you shouldn't be paying 4 figures a month for a publicist at this point. $1,000 to $5,000 a month. You shouldn't be paying that, or even I wouldn't. Anything like that you shouldn't pay for, because again, you don't have anything to publicize yet. You're brand new. You're trying to build a community of people, and to kind of take that money and outsource it at this point in your game is kind of counterproductive. You need to kind of keep everything inside as much as you can. Showcases was another thing that I was talking about. There's too many opportunities to perform somewhere every day. You don't have to pay for showcases or pay to perform in front of somebody who might be able to sign you. The reality of that is A&Rs, and if there are any A&Rs left or any executives or labels, they already have their eye on who they're going to sign. And labels nowadays are looking to sign people who kind of have a situation going, who have a business that's moving, and they just want to add value to it. So most labels, I can't speak for all of them, but most labels are not interested in today's world in taking somebody from nothing and investing millions of dollars inside of them in hopes that they'll pop. They kind of want to know that you're going to do that already. So that's number 2. And again, number 3, what did I say? We said showcases, we said publicists, and man, I forgot what the other one was. If let me pull up my list right quick. Hold on. And this is, so you guys know this is straight raw. It's not edited. This is just how it is. So we family, and we this is what we do. So give me a second. I'm looking real quick on my notes to talk about what you should not be paying for as an artist. Oh, radio promotion. How could I forget about that? Again, radio promotions. Don't pay for that right now. You can't afford it. All right. Even if you got some money, you can't afford it because you can't compete with the, you can't compete with the labels. And let me just ask you a logical question. Most people, when they're looking to get their music put on the radio, they want to hear it often. There's, if you can manage to scramble up a couple $1,000s or whatever to pay somebody to shop your music to a radio station, it won't be in heavy rotation. I'm going to tell you why. Labels pay astronomical amounts of money to keep their artists in rotation. Okay. Now, if anybody's watching this who's in radio, let me know if I'm wrong, especially if you're on a BDS station. If you listen to radio today, you really hear labels and not artists. Okay, especially, and I can speak really as it pertains to urban secular stations. I mean, you hear the same guys. You hear Rock Nation artists. You hear, one time Ross was being played real heavy. You're hearing Drake. You're hearing the labels being played. So, and every now and then you'll hear, somebody you haven't heard of before, but that's not often. Okay, usually independent artists get their chances to be played on the radio on weekends or late at nights. Most people are not listening to the radio like that. All right, so my advice would be to take that money, use it for something else, and really focus on college radio and internet radio. Now, if you just have a relationship like that and you want to do it, and by all means, go ahead and try it. But again, putting an astronomical amounts of money in a radio campaign at this point in the game, it's not smart. Okay, now I want to talk about real briefly about why you gospel rappers or holy hip hop or whatever it's called now, Christian rappers, are not working. And when I mean like working, I mean as it pertains to gigging and doing shows and things like that. And this comes from a conversation I was having with an artist today, and if he's watching this, he'll know what I'm talking about, because I'm gonna say to him, I'm gonna say to you the same thing I said to him. All right, now, Christian rap, or whatever it's called, it's not like it used to be. All right, these guys today are on the same level, or not better, than a lot of these guys out here who who's making money, who's doing that thing. You put a lot of things to guys like Lecrae, Andy Mineo, guys like Gemstones, who are kind of raised the bar and kind of open people's eyes to hip hop, or to Christian hip hop, to the point to where they're not even really recognized as Christian hip hop artists. They're just artists. They're hip hop artists. All right. And for some reason, now, I'm a man of God. I'm in church. I'm in the Word every day. Okay. So this is from somebody who's on the inside saying this. For some reason, Christian rappers are the only ones who feel like they have to wear their belief on their sleeve. And this is what I mean by this. In the 80s, 90s, or even today, a great majority of hip-hop in today's world is Islam. A lot of these guys are Muslims. You never heard anybody come around talk about, I'm a Muslim rapper. No, I'm a straight Muslim rapper. That's all I do. No, they're a rapper. They're hip-hop artists. Christian rappers. Stop going around calling yourselves Christian rappers or holy hip-hop artists. Man, you're a hip-hop artist. You're a rapper. Okay? Now, you're a rapper who just happens to be a Christian. And as long as you keep that message consistent, that message of love, the message of the kingdom, and God will give you ways on how to articulate that message in a way that's relevant, man, you're an artist. Okay? I heard Donald Lawrence say this once. He said, even as it pertains to sponsorships and things like this, a lot of guys lose out on opportunities because they're so bent on, I'm a Christian rapper. But a lot of companies are not going to put their money behind that. So what you say, you're a faith-based artist. Now again, you can say what you want. You can think what you want about it. Hey, listen, I'm in the Word. I know the man. I know Jesus. All right, that's my guy. I'm in fellowship with him every day. And listen, I'm a guy who works primarily in secular music. But I grew up in church. I'm known for writing gospel music. I started everything. My foundation is the church. But listen, you hurt yourself and you hurt your reach because you're so, man, I'm a holy hip hop artist. No. Gemstones, Lecrae, and guys like that are doing things the right way. They know who they are. They're consistent in their brand, and they do what they do. Let me give you an example. And I know I'm going to get a lot of flack about this one. Jesus himself. Jesus did not walk around calling himself the Son of God. He did not do that. He did not walk around saying, hey, I'm the Son of God. Y'all better watch. I'm strictly Son of God. No, what he would do, he would go about his father's business and do his work. And then when he asked people, when he had that situation where he asked the disciples, he said, hey, who do you say I am? And, and Peter said, hey, you are the Son of God. Now, what Jesus did at that point, he confirmed. He was like, hey, man, hey, flesh and blood did not reveal that to you, only the Spirit. So he co-signed that. He said, yeah, I am. But he never walked around saying, I am the Son of God. He called himself the Son of Man, right? Because that's who he came to show himself to. He knew who he was inside. He knew that he and his Father was one. He said that continually. And even the one time you'll hear Jesus say that is with a question mark behind it if you look at different translations. And that's in John 10 when, he talked about how I and the Father are one. And then they wanted to pick up stones to throw at him. And he said, hey, why do you stone me? Because I say I'm the Son of God? Question mark. But he didn't originally say that. He just said, hey, me and my Father are one. He referred to him as his Father. Right? So, again, guys, my point to you, Christian rappers, you holy hip-hop artists or whatever it's called now, you don't have to go around talking about I'm a Christian rapper. You're a rapper. And I'm going to tell you why. Because what happens is it automatically puts a stigma, behind your music. People are like, oh, man, that's whack. I don't want to hear that. Thank God Gemstones don't do that. Thank God Lecrae don't do that. Like, people just know. They're consistent in their brand and what they talk about. So you won't see them in a club, turning up and then go ahead and rapping about the gospel of the kingdom. See, they're consistent in their brand. So if you want people to know that you're a Christian artist, hey, just be a Christian artist off the stage. See? Be a Christian artist off the stage. But when you're on the stage, you're an artist. And what happens is, if your message is effective and your music is hot, somebody's going to say, or when you're in Sway in the morning, they're going to be like, hey, man, what you talking about, that's different. Hey, what are you talking about? Now, that's your avenue to talk about your faith. All right? So, hey, that's just a little tip. I know that's going to get some things going, some people going. If you agree, disagree, go ahead and hit it up. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, day 18. Peace.